Capitol Hill appearance since June comes amid the discovery of new FBI documents that prove former Director James Comey had begun drafting his exoneration of Hillary Clinton before the email investigation had wrapped up. President Trump seizing on that news, tweeting, "Wow, FBI confirms report that James Comey drafted letter exonerating crooked Hillary Clinton long before investigation was complete." Many people not interviewed, including Clinton herself. Comey stated under oath that he didn't do this. Obviously a fix. Where is Justice Department?
Joining me now, Ron Hosko, who served as Assistant FBI Director under former FBI Director James Comey until 2014. Ron, good to have you back on the program. Nice to see you tonight.
Sure.
I want to start by playing this exchange between James Comey and Congressman Ratcliffe back in September of 2016. Let's watch.
Did you make the decision not to recommend criminal charges relating to classified information before or after Hillary Clinton was interviewed by the FBI on July the 2nd?
After.
Okay, then I'm going to need your help in trying to understand how that's possible. To me, the only way that an interview takes place with the two central witnesses and the subject of the investigation is if the decision has already been made that all three people in that room are not going to be charged.
Good question. Ron, what do you make of that and the emergence of this memo that was written exonerating Hillary Clinton 2 months before the decision was made?
So, Martha, you know, one of the things that the FBI does extremely well is produce paper. The director, you know, the senior leadership of the FBI is in briefings for much of their day, reading papers about significant cases, and very often producing those papers to push further up into the food chain. I was a participant in that, a recipient, and a briefer at times. And so these papers very often are the repository is maybe a portal. It's some sort of internal site that you have a number of living documents that detail the progress on significant cases.
Yeah, but this the way this was read by Graham and was that it's a document that exonerates her, and it was put together before 24 witnesses had even been spoken to. So I understand how you're sort of, you know, working on parallel courses and you're kind of moving the evidence through. But if, you know, if their interpretation of what this document is accurate, it sounds like more than that.
Well, certainly, you know, I think it would benefit us all to see the document, see the contents of the document.
Absolutely.
And certainly for Congress to ask Jim Comey questions about it. But I think, as you know, there's been a lot of discussion about intent, the intent element of the espionage statute that was at issue here, whether Mrs. Clinton had violated that intent element, whether there should be an intent element. And I think that it could well be that Jim Comey, former prosecutor, a person used to creating lengthy prosecution memos and detailing the weaknesses and strengths of a case, could have been taking his own proactive steps here to document that very same thing, believing that the emails at the time were perhaps not showing that intent strongly enough for the FBI to recommend prosecution.
But there were a number of key witnesses that hadn't been spoken to. So we will see. And as you say, we really need to see that document, which is not classified as far as I understand. So hopefully we'll get our hands on it. Ron, thank you so much.
We're bringing two special people now pictured to my immediate left. Playing wide left is Marcus Luttrell, former Navy SEAL, author of Lone Survivor, as well as the movie based on his service. And also with us is Dave Goggins, retired Navy SEAL himself. And both of you guys are kicking off the Patriot Tour. It's going to be 2 nights in New York and 1 in Philadelphia. Welcome to the couch.
Thank you.
First off, tell me who won the arm wrestling. Marcus, be honest.
Well, what happens off camera stays off camera, right?
That means you lost.
I did.
So, David, tell me about the Patriots Tour.
You know, the Patriot Tour is something that Marcus kind of put together, and we go around and we just kind of try to motivate people, talk about never quitting, staying in the fight. And the fight's not always someone that has a gun. The fight's just you and your personal life, whatever you're going through in life, just trying to get people, you know, just to do their best.
Wow.
What's your story? How did you guys meet?
We were served together. From the very beginning, we went through basic SEAL training together, and then just kind of bonded up and stayed close ever since. And
Is he one of the ones you invite over to your ranch? I know
all the time. Oh, I don't have to invite him. It's just open door policy for all frogs. But we started the Patriots together. Just like you said, it's kind of what it's morphed into is a unique perspective from different types of people who have been on the bad side and come out on the other end better. And when you come in, it doesn't bring you down, it doesn't beat you up. It's I've heard people call it a comedy tour, a drama, or it's just one of them deals where you come in, you see multifacets of our life and how people get through it and just the overall resolve we have. And to bring everybody in just to kind of listen to that, it's a good vibe.
Yeah, I know it's described as a way to honor the nation's military members and their families for their sacrifices. What have you guys made, and Marcus, we'll start with you, of this Gold Star widow controversy that has erupted after the president apparently called her a couple of days ago and talking about her husband who had died in Niger, said, you know, your husband knew what he had signed up for, and, you know, the president said he felt terrible about it, but then a congresswoman apparently has made it a political thing. What's your point of view?
Well, there's nothing political about our boys dying, right? That's tough. I made a good point. I don't ever talk about the president, and I don't talk about Gold Star families and putting those together and turning it into something that's not. I know that people are quick to jump all over people, and man, when somebody dies and you're trying to console them, just doing the best you can, that's tough, man. And most of us get quiet for a long time, and it's man, Gold Star family, boy, they got a debt we'll never be able to pay them back.
Right.
David, is there anything right thing to say? I mean,
Well, for me, the right thing to say is you have to have the information, the proper information. I wasn't there.
yeah.
So a lot of people in this world we live in today, they talk a lot not knowing the facts. I don't know the facts, so I can't give you a good, intelligent answer right now.
Well, if the president made a phone call to the family and he's doing the best he can, he's trying to come up with something to say other than I'm sorry and give them some support. And then for a politician, this Democratic politician down in Florida, to politicize it and make it a big story, what do you think about that? I mean, is that, you know, he was doing...
The women of our country have their opinion, and I can't say anything about it. It's a lady, right? The congressman.
The widow.
Oh, and the widow. But no, David's right. I mean, for us to kind of comment from the outside is tough, right, because of the emotions and everything that's flying.
Well, then
through
what about this then? What about the, you know, obviously to the both of you and to many watching right now, the flag means something, and for many people, it is not right that certain members of the NFL do not stand for the national anthem. They take a knee or whatever. It started with Colin Kaepernick. And now the NFL, yesterday, in the form of Roger Goodell, the commissioner said, we wish they would stand, but they don't have to stand. What do you think?
Well, the big thing for me is I'm never going to kneel for the flag. I'm always going to stand for the flag. I respect the flag. The flag stands for freedom. I went through a horrible life when I was growing up. There was some racism thrown my way and stuff like that, but it doesn't mean that I'm not free. That doesn't mean that. There's bad people everywhere. I can't control that. I can't control my actions. I can't control the fact that how I fight racism is being the baddest person on the planet Earth. That's how I fight it. If you want to get to somebody's head, don't kneel. That shows cowardice. That shows weakness. Stand up, face the challenge, man up, and get in their head. How you get in their head is you be the best person out there, no matter what color you are, no matter where you're from. That's how you fight racism.
Marcus?
Absolutely. Kind of nailed that one right there. I know Mr. Dell, and we actually know a lot of the guys in the league, and they're almost in an impossible situation, but what he was saying kind of rings true. There's a lot of places on this planet are a lot darker than a football field, and the only time you ever the reason you stand up is because you know everyone back here is standing up. I mean, I've been in hell, man, and that was the only thing I was trying to get up to. And it's one of those deals. The anthem is the one song I would imagine most everybody knows they can hum with some semblance of rhythm. And it's the only time in your life when that thing rings up, it's a call to all the Americans to stand up and be recognized. And then you look around and you see everybody else standing, knowing that we're countrymen, man. We'll be here together forever. It's one of those situations that, and he's right. I mean, these are our kind of modern day battlefield. They're titans or warriors of our country, right? Of each city. And to go into battle and start on your knee, you can't. I would imagine that starts messing with their heads. And I mean, it's just they don't. I would imagine a lot of them don't know what they don't know, and if you're not on the same page, and I mean, Americans love it when you're trying to make a point and fix something, but you got to be on this. If you're not, and it's Sunday football, it's kind of the only time we don't have to go to church, and it's the one good thing that we look to. And
when you're overseas, right?
Yes. Oh, absolutely. And when if you look back and see our Titans on their knees, it resonates differently than what they're expecting. It does. And I mean, they're good guys. They're trying to. We know a lot of them. But if I could say one thing to them, I'm like, know what your point is, know what you're doing, and
the ramifications.
Exactly. I mean, it's you got to understand that anthem it's the core of our country, man. It's a lot bigger than what you're thinking.
Wow, that's part of the mission and the message. Is going to be on the Patriots tour. It'll be tonight, October 19th and 20th at the Kimmel Center. You'll be at the Kimmel Center in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania on Friday. And tonight you'll be at Town Hall Theater.
For folks who are watching, how do they
New
get
York.
more information and a website or anything like that? Got a website?
I always throw that. How many times have I known that? Every time you ask me, it's at patriottour.com.
Yeah.
And we made it to Broadway. I can't believe it. Thank you, New York, for having us back. Right? It's amazing.
Awesome.
PatriotTour.com. Guys, thank you for serving our country. You've sacrificed a lot.
Fantastic. All right, great job.